All right, let's get into this. 57 cards, 1970s, the latest PSA special. I'll put the details in terms of when these arrived. They arrived at PSA somewhere towards the end of December. I just got them back about a week ago, so maybe let's call it February 2nd. Pretty quick turnaround. It indicates to me that PSA is plus the new specials that PSA has indicates that they're starting to see a slowdown in their business, but we'll see what happens. As always, right, PSA does its usual mix up everything in the order. So we'll see what these look like. I do know the grades. We'll let you guys assess how accurate and happy I should be with these. Or not. Oh, that's just going to fall over. Okay. So I'm making a mess already. Some of these cards are just beautiful. Just beautiful. First, the bad news. So this Mike Bossy card, this is the second time I have, I submitted it again. I figured, you know what, let me see if they are consistent with calling this an altered card, and they did. So I'm done submitting this guy. I will actually look at this a little closer. I still haven't done so, and I still don't understand what's altered. You know, PSA doesn't give you any sort of info in terms of what is altered, which really is a problem. I think they should be better about that. Be better, PSA, but they're not going to be. They're going to keep doing what they do. 1972, James Taylor Panini Cantanti. PSA 9. Oh, look at JT. Beautiful card. So there's some fun stuff in here as well as some beautiful stuff. Here's a 1972 Bob Dylan. Not as successful, but in a 6. Definitely more off-center, and it has some softness there in the corner. These are tough to grade, so that 9 was a big surprise. Here we have 3 Bee Gees, 1972. Cantanti, we got a 7 and 2/8, so really good results on those. And who's better than the Bee Gees? Not many can say they are. Going into 1979, Venerlandis, the heroes of world sport. Here's a Mario Andretti in a 9. Again, these cards are really, really fun. I have a Pele PSA 10 that I bought ages ago that I really enjoy. Mario Andretti 9. Bobby Charlton, soccer legend, in an 8. And this little bit with his hair is actually a pretty accurate description of what he looks like. There is one more. I wish they had the 79 Venerlandis together. Of course not. Okay. 71 Topps, Frank Mahavlich in a 9. So that's a really good grade. I have a bunch of 1971s in this order. They weren't all that successful. Here's a 73 O-Pee-Chee, Stan Mikita in an 8, the red. I think you'll see, I need to actually research the 73s because they have different colors. You'll see reds and greens and I think blues. I don't know what I don't really know what they signify. 1975 Topps, Bobby Nystrom, Mr. Islander in a 9. Beautiful. All right. 76 O-Pee-Chee, Clark Gillies in an 8. This is a really pretty card. I'm a sucker for all these 70s cards. So the 70s hockey, no different. I love that. 77 Topps baseball too. My favorite set of all time. Here's a 77 glossy round corners, Ken Dryden. Ken Dryden doesn't get enough hobby love. John Mangini just talked about him recently. And here's Ken Dryden in a 1978 Topps in an 8. I don't know. Maybe they just saw Ken Dryden 8 and they decided, you know what? He's an 8. 1978 Dennis Potvin in a 9. Actually, this first box was must have had all the good grades in there. Beautiful example. And you know, when I submitted these, you know, for the most part, what I'm looking for when I'm submitting cards from the 70s is, you know, I'm looking for 8s and 9s, hoping for 10s, and you know, hoping on the off chance that maybe you get a 10 in there. Bobby Nystrom, Mr. Islander, 1976 tops in a 7. I'll eventually get this glare squared away. Brad Park, 77 tops in a 9. So Brad Park, I think, was runner-up for the Norris Trophy 9 times because he played at the same era as Bobby Orr and then went right into playing with the back half of his career with someone named Dennis Potvin. Poor bastard. 1978 Topps Guy Lafleur in a 5. Don't know what went wrong here. Let's see if we see anything. Yeah, there's a surface ding right there. That's a problem. So that's probably where we're getting dinged. There's also, looks like a surface ding over there. So that looks like it makes sense. Now they've looked at it a little closer, obviously very disappointed in that. 78 Topps Brian Trottier in an 8. Love the Topps version of this card. The O-Pee-Chee version of this card does not have the first team all-star on it, and it just has a big white space. And I'd love to buy a copy, but I absolutely hate how it looks, so I'm not going to. 1979 Topps Steve Shutt, underrated goal scorer on all those Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup championship teams in an 8. 37 goals, 40 assists in 1978-79. Not bad. There's a Darryl Sittler in an 8 and a Darryl Sittler in an 8. Fantastic Maple Leafs legend. 79 Topps Clark Gillies in a 7. 79 Topps Clark Gillies in a 6. Not good. And you see some sort of, it's not wax, but there's actually, it's interesting. I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera. You kind of see like there's some discoloration in the border. And that makes sense why that's possibly a 6. Here are a couple of Gordie Howes in a 7 and an 8. All right, I don't know. Fine. Love the 79 cards. There's a 79 O-Pee-Chee Clark Gillies in a 7. So these 79 cards didn't get treated so well in. And they're they're not easy grades with the blue borders. They do chip easily. So but erring more on the again, more 7s than 8s. I would have, when I'm going into these orders, I'm aiming for more 8s and 9, than 9s. Guy Lafleur. Dennis Potvin in a 9. Look at that. That's a pretty one. So good luck on the Potvin so far. And then last in this pile, at least, is Mike Bossy in a 4. Boo. And it almost looks like there could even be some wax residue in there. It just might be a gaffe on my part. So in the last few orders, I've had a couple of cards come back that had wax stains on them, and it's just, it's embarrassing that I submitted them. All right, this is the second best card in the order. Bobby Hull, 1970 Topps in an 8. This is just gorgeous. This, I think, is, I don't know, it's well into his career. Yeah, well into his career. Bobby Hull, 71 Topps in a 6. I have to look this one over a little closer, although it looks like the left edge could be problematic. Oh, no. Damn. It's amazing. I feel like I use the same lights. Look at that little dimple thing that's not helping. Son of a bitch. I feel like I literally sit here when I do the prep for the grading, and I don't know. It's like I don't look at these. All right, Bossy and a 9. I've been trying to grade this freaking card, well, for close to 3 years. I've never gotten a 9. I know I'm not getting a 10, but I've always wanted to get a 9. I finally achieved my my goal. The part about this one that's interesting is that the back of this card is very well centered, which is usually an impossibility with these cards. Like they're usually way off to one side. So I did just see one card in that grade sell for for a pretty penny and they highlighted the rare centered back. So who knew? Here's a 77 tops John Havlicek in a 6. Not great. Another basketball. I got a couple more basketballs coming your way. 74 Jerry West in a 6. 73 tops Phil Jackson in a 7. Here's the other 79 Venerlandis. Johan Cruyff in an 8. Another soccer legend. Hey, some football. 1975 Len Dawson in an 8. That's a pretty good example. This is a pretty bad example. Ray Guy, 1976 tops in a 4. I don't know what the hell happened. This might get a card grading autopsy because first glance, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, yeah, it's off left to right a bit. Bottom edge isn't great, but that doesn't look like something that should be a 4. We're going to do an autopsy on that guy. Larry Zonka, 1978 tops in a 7. All right, we're back into some hockey. 71 tops. Gilbert Perreault, second year in a 5. I don't know. 71 tops. Bobby Clark in an 8. That's better. And yet this one is much more off-center, but I guess the rest of the card is there's that much sharper. So hence the grade. Brad Park, 71 tops in a 7. Beautiful. I like when these cards are centered. They're just there's few things that are prettier. Here's another Frank Mahovlich in an 8. All right, Bernie Perrant, 71 tops in a 7. I don't love that. I mean, it's way off. Now I'm looking at it, way off top to bottom. So that definitely does not help our cause. Frank Mahovlich, 1972 tops in a 6. It's funny, I thought these 1972 tops, when I would get them graded, that they'd be a little easier grades because they always seem to come in really good condition. Shows what I know. Dion in a 6 and a 7. Stan Mikita in a 3. WTF. Looks like there might be a little wrinkle there. See if I can capture it. You guys see that? Well, we'll do we might do an autopsy on that one. Here's a 73 Dion in a 5. And a lot of these cards, they present well. There's going to be good eye appeal there. I'm not thrilled with the grades though. 72 Topps Guy Lafleur in a 5. Crap. Here's a 73 Topps Makita in a 6. Not hideous. But like I said, here's the green. And we've got a 73 Topps Darryl Sittler. Here's blue in a 7. Okay. Move into 73 O-Pee-Chee. Bob Nystrom, rookie card in an 8. This is a really nice example. Really, getting these things centered, not the easiest thing in the world. You look at the back, see the difference. Slight, ever so slight, in terms of O-Pee-Chee versus Topps. O-Pee-Chee always has that sort of whitish back to it. 1975, Topps, Darryl Sittler in an 8. Pretty good stuff. 76, O-Pee-Chee, Rod Gilbert in a 9er. This is a really nice grade, but when I look at it, I see that, to me, like that right corner, the right edge, way off center compared to the left. So I would have immediately put that as an 8, but all right. And last but not least, Dennis Potvin in a 7. And what I would like to understand from PSA is why this Dennis Potvin case doesn't look like this Rod Gilbert case. So the Dennis Potvin can sort of flop around. It's like PSA forgot to put in the borders. You guys suck, PSA. You really do. All right. Good control check again with PSA. Well, let me know what you think. I mean, there are some winners in here. There's some really good grades. Overall, I would say it's okay. That 72, 73 run that I had with the 6s, the 5s, the 7s, the 3 in there. Not too thrilled about that, but let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, good Lord, thanks again. Thanks so much.